In this video, we're going to cover how to create and customize a shed-style roof using the automatic roof tools. In order to generate a roof, there needs to be a structure for Chief Architect to build a roof over. This requires using the Wall tool to create an enclosed room. Once a room is created, Chief will automatically generate a roof over the structure. It is recommended to get the wall positions and ceiling heights set correctly before starting to adjust the roof. Setting ceiling heights and positioning walls are topics covered in several other training videos and in the built-in help for the program. They are beyond the scope of this video. Once walls have been positioned and ceiling heights have been set, you can start working on the roof proper. There are two places within Chief to control an automatically generated roof: the Build Roof dialog and the roof panel of the wall specification. Using these two locations, you can create a variety of different roof conditions. The first place to control automatic roofs is the Build Roof dialog. You can access it by clicking on the Roof Tools parent button and then clicking on Build Roof in the tool palette. Or you can go to the Build menu, Roofs, Build Roof. The dialog that comes up is essentially the roof defaults. Another way to say it is this dialog is the starting settings for all new roof planes generated in the plan. Every time a new roof plane is generated, it will start with the settings found in this dialog. The first setting to look at is the Auto Rebuild Roof checkbox. This checkbox is checked by default and makes it so every time you adjust something in the plan, it will automatically rebuild the roof to match the changes in the plan. This setting needs to stay checked if you want to have Chief automatically generate roofs for you. The next setting to look at is the framing method. Here you can set whether Chief frames the roof with trusses or rafters. Below that is the option to set a default or starting pitch for the plan. The out-of-the-box starting pitch is 8 and 12. The general panel also lets you control overhang sizes for gable ends and eaves. On the structure panel of the Build Roof dialog, you can control the structural aspects of your roof. This includes things like setting the spacing of your rafters or trusses, as well as the thickness of the structural members. Be aware, if you selected truss for your construction method, the thickness shown on the structure panel is just the thickness of the top chord. See the roof truss defaults in the built-in help for more information about controlling the size of your trusses. On this dialog, you can also set the size and length of your ridge beam, if you're using a ridge beam, as well as your fascia and subfascia sizing. Back on the roof panel, since we're building a shed-style roof, I'm going to set my default roof pitch to 3 and 12 and then click OK. You'll notice in the 3D view, the roof is now building at a 3 and 12 pitch. When using the automatic roof tools, the walls control how the roofs build over them. This means if I want to make a shed-style roof, I need to make adjustments to a few different walls. I want to build this roof on the second floor, so I'll use the floor controls in my toolbar to go up to floor 2. As I mentioned previously, walls control how the roofs build over them. The process for making a shed-style roof involves making changes to each of the walls that form the shed roof. The bearing wall of the shed roof stays marked as a hip wall, but it controls the pitch of the roof plane. And typically, the high wall needs to be marked as a high shed/gable wall. In this example plan, I want the wall at the top of the plan to be the bearing wall, and the wall at the bottom of the plan to be the high point of the shed roof. Since all the walls are currently marked as hip walls, I don't need to make any changes to my bearing wall, so I'll move on to the two side walls. Since I want to make the same change to both of them, I can group select them by clicking on the left-hand wall, then holding down the Control key, or Command key if you're on a Mac, and then clicking on the right-hand wall. Once both walls are selected, I'll click on the Open Object button on the Edit toolbar. In the dialog that comes up, I'll go to the Roof panel, and here I can see several different options for how the roof builds over this wall. I can change the style of roof using the radio buttons at the top. I can also change the pitch for the roof plane or the overhang. In this particular case, though, I'm simply going to choose the full gable wall option and then I'll click OK. You'll notice in the 3D view, Chief has changed those walls to now have gable roofs over them. Now, if I simply wanted a gable roof, I would be done. But I want to have a shed-style roof. So to do that, I'll select the bottom wall and open it for specification. I'll go to the roof panel again, but this time, instead of choosing the full gable wall option, I'm going to choose the high shed/gable wall option. Then I'll click OK, and you'll see the roof change to a shed-style roof. Now you don't have to always modify walls that way to get a shed-style roof. If I go down to floor 1, I'd like to add a shed roof over this bump out. First, since this is a bump out, I don't need to have a full 18-inch overhang. I'll select the top wall, then click on the left wall and the bottom wall while holding down the Control key, or again Command key if you're on a Mac. I'll then open the walls for specification and go to the roof panel. Here, I'll go down to the overhang section and change the overhang from 18 inches to 6 inches, and then click OK. Now if I want the left wall of the bump out to be the bearing wall, I can group select the top and bottom walls like I did on floor 2, open them for specification, go to the roof panel, and change them to full gable walls. Now notice how Chief has automatically generated a shed-style roof even though I only modified the 2 side walls of the bump out. I'll press the Undo button, and I can use the same principle to create a roof parallel to the roof above. I'll select the left-hand wall, open it for specification, go to the roof panel, and mark it as a full gable wall. I'll then select the bottom wall and open it for specification. On the roof panel, I'll choose the High Shed Gable Wall option and then click OK. You'll now see the roof over the bump out matches the roof of the second floor. Using these automatic controls built into Chief Architect, you can create a variety of roof styles to match your needs.